All right, we have to talk about this. YouTube can now tell if your voiceover is AI. ElevenLabs just started watermarking every voice they generate. It's baked into the waveform. YouTube reads it, and that means that the only thing left separating your faceless channel from a content farm is the script. So if you've been using ChatGPT or Claude to write your scripts, there's a good chance that you have the same 5 problems I keep finding every time I audit a faceless creator's work. I've written over 7,000 scripts across 50 plus niches. I work with over 200 faceless creators right now inside Faceless OS and countless others in other projects. And today I'm going to show you what those 5 problems actually look like, with real before and afters on the screen, the fix for each one, and a 3-question test that you can run on your own script now before your next upload. Because nobody in the faceless space seems to want to say this out loud. The AI model that you use in particular isn't really the problem. Your script is. Let me give you some quick context just so you understand why this matters right now and not 6 months from now. January of 2026, this year, YouTube removed 16 faceless channels. 4.7 billion views gone. 35 million subscribers evaporated. Neil Mohan confirmed it publicly, and these weren't like channels breaking obvious rules. These were channels running the exact playbook that every faceless YouTube guru taught back in 2024. And if you look at the channels that got hit, the pattern is kind of obvious. And with Synth ID now labeling your voiceover, the script is the only variable you can actually control that YouTube can't automatically detect. The voice is labeled, the visuals are stock or AI generated, but the script is where you can either prove that a human was involved or you don't. Now, I use Claude every single day. I'm not anti-AI at all. But there's a massive difference between using AI as a tool and letting it drive while you sit in the back seat. So let me show you the 5 things I keep catching. Thing number 1 is that the hook summarizes the video. The first one is the most common and honestly the most damaging. AI defaults to summarizing the video before it even starts every single time. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to put 2 hooks on screen right now, both about the same topic, a video about credit scores, right? And I want you to notice how differently they feel and sound, okay? First one, in today's video, we're going to explore how credit scores have evolved significantly over the past several decades and what that means for your financial future. Now the second one. In 1956, 2 researchers in Menlo Park built a formula that would eventually decide whether 232 million Americans could borrow money. They called it FICO. Now, that's the same topic. It's the same information coming, but look at the difference. The one on the left tells you what's coming. It's a table of contents. You already know what you're getting. So there's no reason to stay. But the one on the right, you don't know where it's going exactly, but you just know that you need to find out. And that difference, that pull, is everything on YouTube. Because when the viewer knows what's coming, they have permission to leave. A hook that summarizes is a hook that says, you don't really need to watch this, here you go. So here's the fix. Your first 50 words need to do 3 things. I'll put them on screen. Target someone specific, name a transformation, and put stakes on the table. If any of those 3 is missing, the hook is incomplete. This is what I call the first 50 formula. It's one of the 16 files inside Faceless OS, my scriptwriting system, but the principle is simple. Your hook should open a wound that only the rest of the video can close. Now, thing number 2 is every paragraph sounds identical, right? Now, the second problem is sneakier because you won't notice it by reading your script. You're only going to notice when you actually hear it. AI writes in uniform blocks. 3 sentences per paragraph, each one between 12 and 16 words. Same rhythm, same beat, paragraph after paragraph after fucking paragraph. Let me show you. I'm going to put an actual AI generated script about sleep science on screen, and I want you to count the sentence lengths with me. Now here you go. Quality sleep is essential for maintaining optimal cognitive function throughout the day. Research shows that most adults require between 7 and 9 hours each night. Establishing a consistent bedtime routine can significantly improve your overall sleep quality. You see that? It's like 12 words, 13 words, and then 12 words. It's a metronome. Every sentence lands the same way. There's no punch, no surprise, nothing that makes your brain recalibrate. It just hums. Now watch this. I'm putting a section from a true crime script I wrote right next to it. For 11 months, his family searched every database, every hospital, and every morgue in 3 states, and they found nothing. You feel the difference, right? There's 2 words, then 15 words, then 3 words. Short, long, and then fragment. And that constant adjustment is what keeps people watching. Okay, the metronome puts you to sleep. The variation keeps you alert. And the thing is, viewers can't really explain why they're bored by the first version. So here's a dead simple test. Pull up your script right now. If 4 out of 5 sentences in any paragraph are within 3 words of each other in length, you have AI rhythm. Break it. Take 1 sentence and make it 3 words or 20. Just break the pattern, do something. Inside Faceless OS, the anti-AI Slop checklist catches this automatically. Sentence rhythm variation is one of 8 checks every script gets before output. But honestly, you can do this one manually. Just count. Thing number 3, no section has a structural job. All right, this third one is the one that separates people who write scripts from people who just assemble information, right? And it's the hardest to see in your own work. AI writes in sequence. This happened, then this happened, then this happened. Chronological, logical, and completely fucking boring. Because here's the thing, like, viewers don't care what's next, they care what's next that actually matters. There's a difference. Let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna put 2 script outlines on screen. Same topic, a video about how Netflix almost went bankrupt. Now here's the AI version, okay? Just generic AI. Section number 1, Netflix was founded in 1997. Section number 2, they started mailing DVDs. Section number 3, they launched streaming in 2007. Section 4, they started making originals. And section 5, they became profitable. Chronological, logical, makes sense. But let's compare this to something what I would write, right? Or in this case, what Faceless OS did. Section 1, Netflix is worth over $400 billion today. Section 2, in 2011, they lost 800,000 subscribers in 1 quarter. Section 3, the CEO bet the company on one decision. Section 4, that decision is the reason you're watching this on Netflix right now. The left side is a timeline. The right side is a story. Every section on the right has a job. It's either opening a loop, it's closing one, escalating stakes, or introducing some sort of a twist. So here's a test for you right now. Go to the middle of your script right now. Pick any paragraph and ask yourself one question. Why does this exist here? And I'm not talking about what it says. Why is it in this spot? What job is it doing? The fix is simple in theory. Every section needs to do one of 4 jobs. Open a loop, close a loop, introduce a twist, or escalate the stakes. This maps to what I call the dopamine ladder in Faceless OS. It's 6 levels of viewer engagement from initial stimulation all the way up to what we call the revelation stage. But the practical version is what you just saw. Every paragraph needs a reason to exist beyond like it's just the next piece of information. Get what I mean? Thing number 4, hedging everything. Okay, this one is quick, but it's everywhere. Okay, I want you to read this sentence on screen and count how many times the writer kind of just chickened out. Okay, it's worth noting that some researchers believe that intermittent fasting may have potential benefits for certain metabolic processes. There's 6 qualifiers in one fucking sentence. Worth noting, some researchers believe, may have, potential, certain. This sentence is so scared of being wrong that it forgot to say anything. Now watch what happens when you just say the thing. Intermittent fasting improves your insulin sensitivity. Here's the data. It's the same information. One sounds like a legal disclaimer and the other one sounds like someone who actually did the research and knows what the fuck they're talking about. And the reason AI does this is kind of obvious if you think about it. It's literally trained to be safe. That's fine for a chatbot, but on YouTube it reads as, I'm not really sure about this. And viewers feel that in about 8 seconds. The fix is just as obvious. Say what you mean, back it up with evidence, and cut every "it could be argued," "some experts believe," and "it's worth noting" from your script. Just say the damn thing. The Faceless OS anti-slop checklist flags this specifically. Pattern number 7 is what we call the wise narrator tone. Things like, here's what nobody tells you and what most people fail to realize. They sound authoritative on the surface, but they're really actually just AI crutches. Okay, the system, Faceless OS, catches them before the script leaves the output. Thing number 5, there's no voice fingerprint. Last one, and honestly, this is the one that matters the most long term. Think about your favorite YouTube channel for a second. Okay, not a faceless one, it could be any channel. I bet that you can hear their voice in your head right now. There's a phrase they keep using, or there's a way they just start their videos, or an attitude that's just theirs, right? You would recognize their script in like 3 sentences, even without the face or the voice. AI scripts have none of this. They're smooth, they're competent, and completely anonymous, but there's no recurring patterns, there's no personality text, there's no opinion. The script could have been written by literally anyone, okay? Like, that is the problem, because YouTube's semantic magic layer reads your transcript. It scores content for originality and depth. And here's the part a lot of people don't really think about. It's using the same type of neural network as the LLM that wrote your script. It's using Gemini, and Gemini is very, very good at reading transcripts and watching the video, which, newsflash, Gemini can watch your videos. The machine grading your homework recognizes its own handwriting. And now with Synth ID labeling your voice, the script is literally the only place left where you can prove a human was involved in making this content. So this is the hardest one to fix, because you can't really just add personality to a prompt. Believe me, I tried and I got pretty close. But what you actually need is a system that encodes your specific patterns into how the AI writes. And this is actually the core of what Faceless OS does. The 16 skill files in Faceless OS v4 aren't just a prompt pack. They are documented craft and instructions extracted from 7,000 of my own written scripts, handwritten scripts. Things like the variety rotation file that prevents the AI from falling into repetitive structures. The niche specific hooks file with real hooks from real scripts across 40 plus niches that I personally wrote. They're not templates, they are actually the working examples that the AI can model from. Then the master file that enforces 8 anti-slop checks on every single output. The result is that 2 people using Faceless OS on the same topic will get structurally different scripts, because the system encodes variety and craft, not just formatting. Now, I'm gonna be straight with you about what it doesn't do. It doesn't invent facts for you. It doesn't do your research for you, which, I mean, you can have Claude do it. And it doesn't guarantee any specific results. It's a script writing system. It's not a magic fucking button. But what it does do is it makes the gap between your output and default AI output as wide as fucking possible. And right now, that gap is the difference between getting monetized and getting flagged. Now, those were the 5 things, okay? So let me give you something that you can actually use right now. 3 questions, and it takes like 10 minutes, and you can do this before every upload. I'll put all 3 on screen so you can screenshot them, okay? Question number 1, read your first 50 words out loud. Do they target someone specific or name a transformation? And does it put some stakes on the table? Right? If any of those 3 is missing, just rewrite the hook. Don't upload until it passes. Question number 2, count the sentence lengths in your first paragraph. Are 4 out of 5 sentences within 4 words or 3 words of each other? If yes, you have AI rhythm. Just take one sentence and make it like 3 words or 20, or do something. Just break the pattern. Question number 3, pick a random paragraph in the middle of your script. Can you tell me why it exists structurally? Not what it says, like why is it there? What job is it doing? If you can't answer that, neither can your viewer, and neither can YouTube system. Takes 10 minutes, it's 3 questions. It won't catch everything, but it will catch the stuff that gets channels flagged. Now, let me show you what happens when creators actually fix these patterns, and I'm only going to use results I can put screenshots on screen for. I got to mention my boy Ed. Ed was a thumbnail designer. This is one of my favorite stories. Ed was a thumbnail designer making about $10,000 a month up until the start of this year. He quit in January and started 4 Faces channels from scratch, and he made like $13,000 in February. Pretty fucking good. But then he made $67,000 in March and April. That is $80,000 in 3 months. These are his YouTube Studio revenue screenshots. He posted them publicly on X. Like, he uses the same AI tools everyone can have access to. He uses VidRush and Faceless OS. The only difference was the scripts. That is the only difference. Now, I want to talk about Nico. He posted this in our Discord 2 days ago. One long form video, 5 million views, and he made over 19,000 euros in estimated revenue from that single upload. I'll put his YouTube Studio screenshot on screen right now. One script, one video. That is a 37x return on his investment with Faceless OS, if that tells you anything. Okay. Number 3, I want to talk about Adrian. He's had multiple $1,000 days. 814 on Wednesday, 960 on Thursday. Like, this is was a few days ago. He DM'd me and he said that he made the money he spent on faceless OS back in literally one day. I'll put his revenue screenshots on screen right now. I made a post about this on my Twitter. Go follow me on X, by the way. Now, let's talk about Mouse. Mouse wrote one script using the system. It took him like 3 minutes and 58 seconds. 533,000 views. He made almost $1,000 from a script that literally took him like 4 minutes to make. And it's the same channel he's been posting on for months. Angelo, 234,000 views. Monetized 91% of his traffic from browse features, which means YouTube is actively recommending his content. Now, I don't want to glaze, but that's what people are saying. Monique, 96,000 views. 2,800 new subscribers. She's running faceless OS with Vidrush and posted "Goat on fire." This is so sick. Now, this one is one of my favorite ones. Chantal, she hit her first 100,000 views on a single video. Her first ever 100,000 views. And if you've been doing faceless YouTube for any amount of time, you know how good that. She had been posting for months before switching to this system. She's been in the faceless OS Discord from day one, like back when I started talking about faceless OS. And she posted the screenshots with the words "first 100,000 views." That's so sick. I'm proud of you, Chantal, if you're watching. Now let's talk about Joey. 863,000 views from a single video. This screenshot is a bit older. I'm pretty confident this video has over 1 million views now, but the main thing I want to tell you about this one is that he got monetized from that one upload. There's a screenshot from his YouTube studio. He posted it in our community the day it happened. And then there's Nif. This one matters specifically for what we've been talking about today. Okay, he had amazing channels he was running. They were good, they were profitable, they were performing. And then he got denied for his monetization because he got hit with reused content. The scripts weren't that bad. The AI patterns in his videos just triggered the same detection system that catches content farms. That's literally the problem we've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. He's actually the reason I built the authenticity audit file in faceless OS v4. His situation exposed a blind spot in my system that quality alone couldn't really fix, so I just built one. If you want the full system, the first 50 formula, the anti-slop checklist, the retention mechanics, the authenticity audit, all 16 files, that's faceless OS. So one-time payment, there's no subscription, and we have 200 plus creators in